Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here and I'm about to show you what I found. But before I do, let's talk about this week's tip. Now, for the most part, you've seen a lot of my collection and it consists mainly of US currency. That's not to say there isn't cool items in foreign currency. And for those of you who are afraid to expand your horizons a little bit, I've highlighted in the past a few notes that are foreign currency but are relatively close to America, i.e., Canadian notes. Canadian notes have a similar value dollar for dollar. I mean, what was the exchange rate? The exchange rate goes anywhere from 78 cents on the dollar to 92 cents on the dollar, depending on the year. So they are fairly close. American money is usually worth a little bit more, but it's still comparable. So if you say $100 in US, you know that you're talking almost that in Canadian. Uh, Actually, the other way around. If it was 100 US, it would be 120 in Canada. But if you're talking a $100 bill in Canada, you know that's about 80 bucks here, 90 bucks here. Relatively close. The thing is where do you start? Well, it's always good to learn a couple of the cool stories. And when you hear some of those stories from, I don't know, YouTube, that will guide your way into foreign currency. And once you get a few notes, like me, well, then you start expanding a little bit. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later. All right, I've got my 1,000 singles. Let's get these out of the way and take a look at what I found this week. Starting off, found a Where's George? See where I've been at where'sgeorge.com. Where's George notes don't hold any additional value. If anybody tells you that, buy a Where's George stamp $100, and then sell the notes to that person who tells you they have value. If they refuse to buy them, then that's proof that they aren't worth anything. Anyway, Where's George note? I have not seen that stamp, so I'm excited to log that one in to see where it's been. I've got some trinaries. Once again, trinaries, no additional value. I collect them for fun. Imagine that, a hobby where you do things for fun. Yes, not for money. This one's a trinary, 1s, 3s, and 8s. Here's one that is 3s, 5s, and 7s. 1s, 2s, and 8s. So close to being a radar, but it's not. A radar is worth money. This is almost a radar. That means it's almost worth money. 2s, 4s, and 5s on this one. Let me look at this one real close just to make sure. Yep, not a radar. Radars and repeaters, when you get the numbers like this, sometimes can be harder to spot. So I just wanted to double check it. I see it starts 5-5, ends 4-4, 5-5, and the 2 digits in the middle. The 4 and the 2 are different, so it is not a radar. Just a trinary, just worthless, just going into my box hoping that I can find a pair. Another trinary, 2s, 7s, and 8s. And this one is quads. Quad zeros with a 5th. Not that quads are worth anything either, but I save them, also trying to pair notes. Because that's just cool when you come up with 2 notes with the exact same serial number. And if you really want to impress your friends, match the block as well. I've done that once. All right, what else we got here? Quad 8s and some stars. 2017 A star note. Don't forget, check your stars. If you find a star that is filled in, that's worth some money. That's an actual error compared to some of the non-errors that you tend to see me highlight on Saturday's videos. Anyway, 2017 A star note, another 2017 A, another 2017 A, 2017, another 2017, another 2017, and another good run for stars. You gotta remember, they're gonna stop producing stars after this series, so every star you find may be the last one printed. So yeah, I tend to hold on to these. 2009 star note, 2003 A star note. That's pretty cool. Then we get the older notes. 2003 A. This one's in rough shape. Another 2003 A in much better shape. I always save notes that are 20 years old or older just because nobody else does. 2003 A, kind of rough. 2003 A, very rough. Gonna go away, I'm sure. 2003 A, rough. 2003. 2003. 2003. 2001. 1999. 1999 there as well. Another one. This one's pretty beat as well. 1995. First shot at a web note. It's been over 2 years since I found a web note. Web notes are not going to have a mark over here. This F2, for instance, that's not going to be there. F3, sorry. Or on this side, all it will have is a single digit versus the FW and the F. So that's the dead giveaway when you find a web note, which is an experimental note. They were available in 88A, 1993, and 1995. Haven't found one in a while, though. Here's another 1988A. Once again, not a web note. Decent shape for it. 1988. And the oldest note I found this week is a 1985. All right, so that's what I found this week. What did I pull? Well, I recently picked up one of these, and I thought it was kind of neat. I've shown these before in the past, and what this is, as you can see here, it's a 1954 $1 Canadian note, and there's a second one here. This is called the Devil's Head, or the Devil's Hair, or Devil's Face. And the reason for that, if I can grab my pen, is right here. As we zoom in, you can see this is the nose. Underneath, you can see the mouth. Here's one eye, here's another eye, and you can see the horns. The face of the devil appears in her hair. Once they discovered that, they modified the image to remove the face of the devil. So there they are side by side, the devil's head and the modified. Now, I thought these were the only two versions of this particular set. I mean, when I heard about the devil's head, I had to get that. In fact, I have this in denominations all the way up to the $100 bill. But then to see the modified version side by side, obviously the devil's head is worth more. But there's a third version, potentially a fourth version as well. This is a star note. Now, this particular star note happens to be from 1967. It uses the modified image of Queen Elizabeth, so you do not see the devil's head in there. The modified version, let's see, once again, 1967 here. The modified version is interesting because this is a commemorative edition. The 1967 version, like I said, at a glance, looks exactly like the 1954 version. I mean, they're virtually identical. The only difference is they have this right here, which was their centennial, 1867 to 1967. And most of these notes will have that for the serial number. They had all the serial numbers printed 1867, 1897. That was the serial number for every single one. But this is a star note, and I just wanted to show that you can actually find star notes in Canada in their currency as well. So I thought it was so neat to have not only a star note from Canada, but a star note on one of the commemorative notes. And of course, being able to compare it to the 1954, you can see it's virtually the same. If we look at the back, they did change the image on the back. There is, you can read it right there, Canada's first Parliament building, compared to the prairie scene over here. So yeah, when you're looking for the devil's head notes, I'm pretty sure they also made stars in the 1954 version. So keep your eyes peeled. Like I said, I got all excited seeing a Canadian star note, and I wanted to make sure to add this to my collection, especially in a lower denomination where it's much more affordable compared to the higher denominations. All right, guys, if you learned anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe. Love reading all your comments. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.